Sexual comments and behaviors start happening a lot, or if they're severe, this is what's called a hostile environment. This is when the harassment makes it difficult for you to take part in class, walk through the halls, or join in school activities. And a hostile environment can even affect other people, not just the person who's being targeted. It's like if a group of kids is harassing a student by touching them or even pretending to grab at them, chanting sexual comments as they walk through the halls or passing sexual notes, and the adults at school aren't doing anything to stop it. I might be so intimidated by these kids that I avoid the places they hang out, I drop out of activities they're in, and, well, generally try to stay out of their way. I'd be worried because if the adults aren't doing anything to help the other student, who's going to stop the harassers if they do it to me?
I hated gym. I looked for any excuse not to go. If I couldn't find an excuse and I feel like putting up with those guys, I cut class. I actually almost failed gym. Try explaining that to your parents. I mean, nobody fails gym. Gym's the easiest subject. Even though I tried to ignore these guys, it gets you down after a while. Always wondering who's gonna say what or do what next. So I just tried to avoid the whole scene. Like, I couldn't stand the cafeteria. At lunch, I'd just bring my lunch somewhere else and do homework or whatever. At the end of the day, when school was out, I was out of there as soon as possible.
Even if you haven't experienced sexual harassment, you've probably seen it happening. When I'd see stuff in the halls or in class, I'd never say anything. I always had an excuse, you know, like, it's none of my business. It wouldn't do any good to say anything. He'd just do it to me, too. But when it happened to me and no one helped me, it really made me feel awful. Like I was all alone and no one cared. I think if more people spoke up and told the kid to stop harassing or being a jerk, whatever, then kids would realize they can't get away with this stuff. And I know I would have felt a lot better if someone had tried to help me.
I just tried to deal with it. You know what I mean? I had my own friends, so I really didn't care what her idiot friends thought about me. What really made me mad was that I had to keep defending myself against Laura's rumors and the boys that believe them.
What the heck is wrong with you?
It really made me feel dirty, having guys grab at me as if I was like a piece of meat or something. At one point, I just lost it. I couldn't take it anymore. I ended up in the girls' bathroom crying. And I'm not the kind of person that cries a lot. I just tried to stay away from that group as much as possible. But it really made me mad, because I really, really wanted to join the newspaper group. But Laura was in it, so forget it.